Hello everyone, welcome back to Victory Point. Today we are going to solve a question, next permutation. So there's a lot of logic behind this question. So listen to the video very carefully, listen to the entire thing, and then you too will be able to code it yourself. So let's dive into the question. First of all, we'll be understanding the question, then we'll try to code this in. So what is the question? Implement the next permutation which rearranges numbers into numerically next greater permutation of numbers of a given array A of size n. If such an arrangement is not possible, it must be rearranged in the lowest possible order, which is sorted in ascending order. Note, the replacement must be in place. Do not allocate extra memory. Do not use the library function for next permutation. So these are the two things that you have to keep in mind. We cannot use the library function and we cannot allocate extra space. Everything has to be done in place inside the array that has been already given to us. Now let us have a look at an example. Let's see what is the next permutation of a few examples so that we can derive a pattern from them. So over here, let's take example of 1, 2, and 3. So this is the set of numbers that we have. What is the next permutation going to be? So the next permutation is going to start with 1, but we will have 3 and 2 swapped. Let's write all the permutation of this particular set to understand what's going on. What's next? 2 is going to be at the beginning, and then we are going to have 1 and 3. What's next? 2 at the beginning, then 3 and 1. Next, 3 at the beginning, then 1, then 2. Next, 3 at the beginning, then 2, then 1. So this is basically, these are all the permutations that are going to be for 1, 2, 3. Let us try to understand how are we calculating this next permutation, and then we'll try to see a pattern and just simply code that in. Let's see, for example, this particular number 2, 1, 3. So we are going to start from the second last number. Okay. Now we are going to check if this number is greater than the number on the right to it. So is 1 greater than 3? No, it is not greater than 3. Okay. So this is our first number, that is breaking the chain. Then we are going to start from the rightmost index and find a number that is greater than 1. 3 is greater than 1. We are going to swap these two numbers. 2, 3, 1. So this is what we have done to find out the next permutation. Let us have a look at another one. Let's have a look at this 2, 3, 1. Okay. So we have a 2, we have a 3, and we have a 1. How do we find out the next permutation for this? So again, we start with the second last number. Is 3 greater than 1? Yes, it is. So we move left. Is 2 greater than 3? No, it is not. So this is the first index that we wanted. Now what we'll do, we'll start from the right, find a number that is greater than 2 and swap 2 with it. Is 1 greater than 2? No. Is 3 greater than 2? Yes, it is. So we swap these two numbers. 3 comes at the beginning, then we have 2, and then we have 1. Now after this, what we do is, this is the index that we found out, 0. Whatever is in front of it, we reverse it, or let's say sort it. So this becomes 3, 1, 2. So that's it. This is our next permutation. So what is the algorithm like? So basically we are starting from the second rightmost index. We are moving towards left until we find a number that is less than the number to its right. A number that is less than the number to its right. We stop there. That is our index that we wanted to find. After that, we start from the rightmost side and find a number greater than the number on the index. We swap the two numbers and reverse everything in front of the index. This is what our algorithm is going to look like. Let me take one more example and explain it to you. So let's say we have this 2, 1, 3, 4. We start from the second last number. Is 3 greater than 4? No, it is not. So this is the index that you are looking for. We start from the right, 4. We find a number that is greater than 3. It is 4. We swap these two numbers. And we sort everything in front of the index. So 2143 is the next permutation. So this is how we are going to go about it. Let us look at the code for this particular problem. So let us see how we can code this in. First of all, we'll find the index that we have been talking about. So let me take an index 1 equal to a dot size minus 2. This is where we are going to begin. Now while our index 1 is greater than or equal to 0, what do we do? If we have found an index, a of index 1, that is less than a of index 1 plus 1. If we have found this number, we break. We don't go back any further, but if we haven't found it, we keep moving to the left. So index minus minus, we are moving back until we find a number that is less than the number to its right. This is exactly what we were doing. If you look over here, when we had 2, 3, 1, we were starting with 3. Now we were finding an index where the number on the index is less than the number to its right. So we found that 2 was that index, or 0 was that index and 2 was the number. Okay, so moving forward, now one corner case is if the entire array is already in the descending order. If it is already at the highest permutation, we have to return the lowest permutation. So how can we do that? We have to just reverse the entire thing. If it is in descending order, the lowest permutation is going to be in ascending order. So we just reverse the entire array and return it. So if our index 1 becomes minus 1, that means the entire vector was in the descending order. We simply reverse the entire thing, a dot begin, a dot end, and return a as the answer. But if it is not the case, what do? We start from the right. So let me take an index 2 over here. So we are starting from the rightmost index. We'll move towards left until we find a number that is greater than the number on index 1. Now while a of index 2 is less than a of index 1. While this is the case, index 2 minus minus, we go towards left until we find a number where a of index 2 is greater than a of index 1. As soon as we are done with it, what do? What is the next step that we have to do? We have to swap these two. So I'll use an extra variable to swap them. So I have taken this temp variable and I'll swap these two values. So now we have swapped the two numbers. Now what do we have to do? We just have to reverse everything to the right of the index 1. We just have to reverse everything to the right of the index 1 and we'll have our answer. Let's see how we can do that. So it's simply reverse a dot begin plus index 1 plus 1 till the very last index, a dot end. So we are reversing the whole thing and we are returning a as the answer. Let me run this and see if you are able to successfully pass all the test cases or not. Let me submit this now. Alright, so we have passed all the test cases. I hope the question is crystal clear to all of you and now you too will be able to code it yourself. Thank you so much for watching.